Hello, everyone. Welcome to our webinar on setting up and using your VR headset with Yulio. Thank you for joining me today. My name is Nicole. I'm one of the client success specialists here at Yulio, and I'll be hosting today's session. The main objective of today's webinar is to get you prepared for using your virtual reality headset with Yulio and to go over some best practices for viewing and presenting in VR. If you have any questions that pop up during our session, please feel free to enter them in the question box and I will answer them during the Q&A period at the end of our session. My contact details are also on the screen now. So if you'd like to follow up on today's webinar with any questions or a follow-up training session, please feel free to reach out to me. Lastly, if you do have to leave today's session early, I am recording the full webinar and we'll send that to all registrants a little bit later, so you'll be able to watch it back and share it with your team as well. So here's our agenda for today's session. First, I'll talk a little bit about why you might want to use a VR headset in addition to your browser mode experience. Next, I'll go over which headsets are compatible with Yulio. Then we'll get into adding projects to your headset gallery and connecting your headset. And then I'll show you how you can view and present in VR and how you can send projects to your client's headset. And then, like I said, we will wrap up the session with a Q&A period. So you might be thinking, why should I use a VR headset? Can't I just show my clients the web browser experience? Technically, yes, you can, and it will offer a great 360-degree view of the space. However, presenting your design to your client in a VR headset offers a unique, immersive, and interactive experience. With VR, your client can virtually walk through a project before it's built, which provides a stronger sense of space and scale. This immersive experience can help clients better understand design concepts, which in turn can reduce costly misunderstandings and improve client satisfaction. Within your own teams, VR presentations can encourage collaboration and creative problem solving by allowing teams to explore design variations together in real time. So, Yulio is compatible with the MetaQuest series of headsets, which includes the new MetaQuest 3S, if you are familiar with that. Recently, Meta has phased out the sale of some of their previous headset versions. So, right now, they're only producing the 3S and 3 headsets. However, if you already have the MetaQuest 2 or Pro, you can still use it with Yulio. If you're looking to purchase a headset, both the Quest 3 and 3, the Quest 3S and 3 headsets are both great options. They both offer a color camera for mixed reality or AR applications, which is great. If you haven't purchased a headset and you want to learn more about them and which the features that each of them offer, you can compare the Quest 3S and the Quest 3 on the Meta website. All right, so once you have your headset, the first thing you're going to want to do is download the Yulio Viewer app so that you can connect your headset to your Yulio account. I'm just going to play this short video and I'll be talking over it. And this short video will just show you kind of the next steps here. So you're going to start off by putting on your headset and you're going to open the Meta Horizon store from your app library and search for Yulio Viewer in the search bar. From here, you'll be able to download the Yulio Viewer app for free. So once you've downloaded the app, the next time you go and open your app library on your MetaQuest, you'll be able to see the Yulio Viewer app there and easily access it. Okay, so now let's go over how to connect your headset to your Yulio account. So with your headset off, you're going to go to the Yulio website and log into your account. For those of you that are new to Yulio, when you log into your account, you'll always land here on the projects page. So the projects page is where you can create new projects and where all the projects on your account are stored. To connect your headset and add projects to your headset gallery, you're going to click on the Headsets tab here at the top of the page. So on this page, you'll see two secondary tabs, My Headsets and Headset Projects. So under the My Headsets tab, which I'm in now, is where you'll be able to see any of your connected headsets. And under the Headset Projects is where you will see the gallery of projects that are connected to those headsets. Before you connect your first headset, I do recommend adding a couple of projects to your headset gallery so that you have some projects ready for you when you put your headset back on and return to the Yulio Viewer app. So under this tab here, you're going to select Add Projects. And I'm just going to go into my account or into my project folders and add a couple of projects. So you can add and store up to 20 projects to your gallery at any time, and they are pre-downloaded to your device through the Yulio app. So once they're downloaded here, you don't need the internet to view your projects while using the headset. Another important thing to note here is that all projects featured in your gallery here will connect to all headsets that you've paired under the My Headsets tab. So this is just something to keep in mind if you have multiple headsets connected to your account. If you want to delete a project from your gallery, you can do that anytime just by clicking on this red delete button. Now let's move on to how to connect a headset to your account. So I'm just going to go back to the My Headsets tab. To connect your headset, you're going to click on the Connect Headset button. From here, you'll be prompted to put your headset back on and open the Yulio Viewer app to identify the unique 3-digit pairing code. So I'm going to open up this video here and we'll take you through those steps. So here's what you'll see when you put your headset back on and open the Yulio Viewer app. So this is just some in-app onboarding. Once you've gone through the onboarding, you're going to look down and you're going to find this connect button. So when you gaze at that 3-digit code, hold on, I'm just going to go back here, will appear. So once you have the code, which is DAN, you would, well, in this case, it's DAN, it'll always be different. You can take your headset off and return to your Yulio account. So now you would go ahead and enter that 3-digit pairing code. Once you do that, your headset will be connected and you will see it appear here like mine is. At the same time, any of those projects that you added to your gallery under the Headset Projects tab will be synced to your headset through the Yulio app. All right, before we get into viewing and presenting in VR, I'm going to go over a couple of customizations that you can make to your VR experience. So, if you recall, when we were watching the video of how to connect your headset, the gallery of projects on the app were displayed in this sort of empty building environment. So, I'll show you here. So, this is what we refer to as your company lobby. It's essentially the background environment that your projects are displayed in when you open the Yulio app. If you're an administrator on your Yulio account, you can customize this lobby to reflect any scene from any of your projects. So to do this, you would click on the email associated with your account and scroll down to company settings. And then you're going to click on custom branding and just scroll down to the bottom of the page. So when you scroll down, you'll see a preview of the default company lobby, which is that empty building that I was referring to. If you can always keep it list like this, but if you wanted to change it, you can click on the change lobby button and choose a project from your account. Anytime you do this, the first scene in that project will be chosen as the new lobby. If you wanted to choose a different scene in a project as your lobby, you would have to create a new project that contains only that scene. Once you update your lobby, you'll see a preview of the new lobby in this window here. Another thing you can do from this page is upload your company logo. By uploading the company logo to your account, your logo will appear each time you open any of the projects on your account. So it's a simple way to add some personalization to your VR projects. All right, so now that your headset is connected and you've uploaded your projects, you are all set to start viewing your projects in VR. At this point, you would go ahead and put your headset back on and open the Yulio Viewer app. So after putting your headset on and opening the Yulio Viewer app, you should see something like this. We are currently in the company lobby. This person is going to go ahead and set their hand controllers down, which you'll see in a minute. And you'll notice when they do this, a message on screen. You'll see a message on screen that says gaze control active right there. So, gaze control is another feature we have that helps make the viewing experience as simple as possible. So, instead of using your controllers to select projects and click on hotspots, you can just use your gaze. So, as this person looks around, you'll notice this small circle in the middle of the screen. That's their gaze indicator. So, this is going to go, well, you already saw it, went ahead and opened this project here. Um, And just by gazing at that view button and holding their gaze indicator over it for a couple of seconds, it will activate a hotspot or open projects for you. If you prefer, you can always pick up your hand controllers and use them instead to point and click. But once you are comfortable with the gaze indicator, we find it much simpler. Okay, so now we're in the immersive VR experience. So this person has opened this project up. If this is your first time in a VR headset, you can start off by taking a moment to look around and getting comfortable in the VR experience. Something that's important to note here is that you're not really going to be physically walking around while viewing in VR with Yulio. So each time you open the Yulio Viewer app, you'll be prompted to confirm a small virtual boundary that's set up around you. So if you step outside of that boundary while viewing in VR, the VR experience will vanish. And this boundary just helps keep you from bumping into anything in your physical space when you're viewing in VR. So because you won't be walking around much, you can always start out by sitting in a swivel chair so that you can easily turn your body to view the scene in 360. And then once you're comfortable in the headset, um, you can always stand up if you want and start exploring the experience from within your headset. So this person is going to use their gaze indicator to move to a new scene by activating that navigation hotspot. And once you start exploring, you can use your gaze indicator to activate hotspots, navigate to new scenes like you just saw, and open the floor plan if there is one available. So if you're familiar with viewing in browser mode already, viewing in VR is very similar. There's a few different ways that you can navigate scene to scene. The first is using those navigation hotspots, which we just saw. And navigation hotspots are Ulio's form of point to point navigation. They help give that sense of walking through the experience. The next way you can navigate is with the floor plan. So if there's one included in the project, you can find the floor plan by looking down. If you're viewing in VR, you can find the floor plan by directing your gaze down slightly. And you'll see this menu appear like this person is looking at on screen. And as you can see, there is a floor plan button included. It just looks like this map button. You can also see the navigation arrows here, which are another navigation option. And when you activate them, it allows you to move to the next or previous scene. So this user is going to gaze at the floor plan button and open up that floor plan. So just like when you're viewing in browser mode, you can identify where you are standing in the project by the blue colored location marker. I'm just going to go back and pause that for a minute. So the blue colored location marker is where you are currently standing, and then the red markers are where you can navigate to by holding your gaze over them. So this person is holding their gaze over the reception, and they will end up back in the reception area. So now that we're back in the lobby, as you can see, there's various other enhancement hotspots around the scene, which again, you can activate just by holding your gaze over. As a reminder, Yulio's hotspot options include text, image, video, audio, and AR. And you'll see this user is just going to go through and activate some of those hotspots in this project to give you an idea of what they look like in VR. Now, if you look down again and open that menu, there's a button to exit the project, and that's how you can return to your lobby. All right, I'm just going to press pause. So the next VR project we're going to view includes an AR or augmented reality hotspot. So if you don't know, AR hotspots allow you to view project elements in full 360, and you can place them in your own physical space to understand how they fit into your own surroundings. So this is a great feature to use, for example, if you want to see how a piece of furniture might look in your current space. So for this project, you would want to pick up your hand controllers again because you do need them to interact with AR objects. Oops, I'm just going to go back here for a minute. So this user is going to activate this AR hotspot, and you can tell it's an AR hotspot because you will see a 3D box icon on the hotspot. So when you begin viewing the AR element, you'll notice some text around your controllers. It's hard to see here, but this text indicates what the specific buttons on your controllers do. So you can move, rotate, and lift the object, for instance. You can also use the toggle environment button to change the background environment in which the object is being displayed in. So right now they're viewing the object against a virtual background. But if you're using a VR headset that has a camera for mixed reality capabilities, you'll be able to change the environment to see the object in the real world space around you. So this would be particularly useful in a situation where, again, you're looking at a piece of furniture and you want to see how it would look and fit in your physical space. So they're lifting the object up and rotating it around. And they're going to toggle through some virtual backgrounds, but in this particular video, they don't actually place it and use that mixed reality camera. Okay, now I'm just going to return to our Yulio account. Okay, so if you want to view your projects in VR with team members or present them to clients, we recommend Yulio's Collaborate feature. So if you're not familiar with Collaborate, it's essentially an elevated presentation mode. So when you host a session, you can have everyone meet in the same virtual space, guide viewers around the space, see what others are seeing, and collect feedback. To start a Collaborate session, you can click on this button here at the top of the page that says Collaborate. So we see Collaborate used for in-person and remote meetings and even at events. So with Collaborate, any guests that you're meeting with in person or remotely can all join in on their own headset or in browser mode. Before you launch your session, if your guests will be wearing headsets, you'll just want to make sure that you have connected those headsets to your Yulio account, either on the My Headsets page, which we looked at earlier, or through a client gallery. And I will go over client galleries a little bit later. So, like I just did to launch the Collaborate session, you'll click on the Collaborate button at the top of your page there. One thing to note here is that you can't launch a Collaborate session from a VR headset. So, as the host, you will always launch and present a Collaborate session from your internet browser. But guests can join from their headset or a browser. So, when you launch a Collaborate session, like I just did, the first project in your headset gallery will auto load by default. So, if you prefer to turn this feature off and select your project manually each time, you can do that just by going into the Settings tab here and turning off this setting, auto load first headset project. All right, so there's a few different ways your guests can join a Collaborate session depending on the device they're joining with. So to add participants, you can click on this person tab with the plus icon. So if your guests are in a headset that has been connected to your Yulio account or a client gallery, the project will auto load in the Yulio Viewer app once the Collaborate session starts. So all they have to do is put their headset on and open the Yulio app, and they will automatically join the session that we're in. If you have participants that are joining in browser mode from their mobile device, if they can see the screen we're looking at now, they can scan this QR code with their phone's camera and join that way. And for those joining on a desktop, you can share this direct link with them by copying this link, or they can join by going to live.yulio.com and entering this unique group code. So today our group code is ECJ8. So to give you an idea of how a Collaborate session might look from your guest perspective, I'm going to give you the chance to join this mock session. So if you'd like to join, you can go ahead and join from your phone just by scanning this QR code with your phone's camera app. You can also go to live.yulio.com and enter the group code, which again is ECJ8. So if you'd like to join, I'll give you a minute to do that. All right. So as I continue the session, you can look at my screen to see what your perspective will be as you host sessions moving forward. And then what you see on your mobile device is what your guests will see as the participants. Keeping in mind that if they were viewing from within a VR headset, of course, the experience would be much more immersive. So looking at my screen as the host, there are a couple of different ways you can present your Collaborate session. So we have present mode and explore mode. We recommend starting off in present mode because it gives you as the host the control to guide your viewers through the experience and to direct your guests' attention to a certain area in a scene. In present mode, guests cannot activate any hotspots and they're restricted to the scene that the host is in. So only when the host activates a hotspot um, will they see that hotspot, and only when the host navigates to a new scene will the guest navigate to a new scene. Another thing to note here is that your guest screens are not going to mirror your screen, but as the host, I can direct my guest's attention, to a certain area at any time, just using this spotlight button that looks like a flashlight in the top corner here. So let's say I want to direct your attention over to this text hotspot. I can click on the spotlight button, and anyone who joined this session, their gaze should be redirected over to where I'm looking. So if we click on this hotspot here, oops, you'll see some text that's been added as well as an external link. If I clicked on that, it would open up a new different web page. If I go over here, we can navigate to our second scene or scene 2. And at this point, everyone should be with me in the new scene. Over here, we have an image hotspot. We can open that up and see it. And now I just want to show you this AR hotspot. So we saw what this experience can look like when through the perspective of a VR headset, and this is what the browser mode experience looks like. So from my computer, I can use my mouse to view the object in full 360. If your guest doesn't have a headset, they can still get a similar AR viewing experience as they would in a headset by using their smartphone. So what they can do if they're viewing from a browser is open this AR button at the bottom and scan this QR code with their phone or even a tablet. And this will open the AR object on that device. And then, similar to when they're in a headset, they can see the object in their own space and they can scale it, reposition it, and so on. For those of you that have joined the session from your phone, you'll be able to click on the AR button at the bottom of your screen to see that object in AR, just straight from your phone. All right, now I'm going to go back. The last thing I want to mention about Collaborate's present mode is that you can give present privileges to a guest at any time. So to do this, you would just click on their name in the Participants tab, and they can take control of the session by activating hotspots, moving to new scenes, and directing your attention to different areas of interest. Beside present mode, we have explore mode. So in this mode, all guests can explore the project freely, including activating hotspots and navigating to new scenes. During this time, when you're in explore mode, this mode will gaze through each guest's view every 10 to 15 seconds. So you can, as the host, see where all your guests are looking and what they're exploring. If you're in explore mode and you want to take back control, you can just click on present again and you will go back to being the host. All right, I'm just going to click on this back button here and end the session and return to my account. So the final Yulio feature I want to talk about today is client galleries. So client galleries allow you to share a collection of up to 20 projects directly with your client, or you can create a curated gallery of projects for something like an upcoming event or a trade show. It's also a really great tool to use if you have more than one headset and you want to showcase a gallery of projects on that additional headset that is different from the projects in your headset gallery. Because if you remember earlier, I mentioned that any headsets connected under your headsets tab will automatically be loaded with all of the projects that are in your headset gallery. So this is a great way to, or client galleries is a great way to load a headset with projects that are different from those in your headset gallery. To create a client gallery, what you're going to do is click on this Resources tab at the top of your page and select Client Galleries from the drop-down menu. So when you land on this page, you'll see there are two different gallery options for you to choose from. Oh, sorry. First, you have to click on Create Gallery. And now you'll see that there's two different gallery options for you to choose. There's an individual and event gallery. And you can create an unlimited number of either gallery. So an individual gallery allows you to share a portfolio of projects directly with your client. It provides them with a place to log in, view their gallery, and connect a headset. This is a great way to share a collection of projects with a client without having to send them multiple project links. An event gallery allows you to create a gallery of projects without the need to invite a client. So, this is a great option if you want to manage which projects are showcased on your headsets before heading into, let's say, a trade show event or a meeting. If you wanted to create an individual gallery for a client, you can click on Create Individual Gallery. Here, you'll enter your client's information, just their name and their email. Um, then you will add projects to that gallery. You'll have the option to connect a headset for them, or they can connect their own headset later. And then you'll just save that gallery and send them an invite, and they'll get that invite to their email, and they can open up that gallery anytime and view those projects. As the manager of the gallery, you can update that gallery anytime as well for them, and it will update automatically with new projects or updates to projects. Okay, now I'm just going to return to my slides. And that will wrap up today's webinar. So I hope that you were able to learn some helpful tips for setting up your headset and viewing and presenting in VR. Thank you all for joining me today. If you have any questions, you can submit them in the question box, and I will stick around for the next couple of minutes to answer those. As a reminder, if you want to book an additional training session with me on anything we did or didn't cover today, my email is up on the screen now, so please feel free to reach out and I will gladly work with you to set up a time for us to meet. Of course, you can also email me later at any time if you have any questions.